Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps changed my life, literally. Even though I didn't follow them perfectly, I paid off over $70,000 worth of debt in the last 2 years. And I've invested almost $100,000. But my journey didn't look like what is talked about or what you typically see online. So let's talk about it. All right, guys. So if you're new here, I am Dr. Shamanda. I am a licensed mental health and addictions therapist here in North Carolina, and I specialize in financial therapy, which is all about helping people heal and understand their relationship with money. And on this channel, I talk a lot about my own personal journey with personal finance. And you guys get to watch me literally build wealth, save, pay off debt, invest, all that stuff. So I want to start from the beginning. Where did this all start from? Like, if I can be honest, it started with Dave Ramsey. I remember being in my hometown. I was a single mom. I'm still a single mom. My children are adult children now, 18, 19. But I was in like my early 20s. And somehow, somewhere, I learned about Dave Ramsey. And I went to the library, the local library, and I got all his books. Like, I would come out of that library with stacks of books. And I was so infatuated. And I started listening to the podcast. And when I learned about the baby steps, that was like life changing for me. And as someone who was on government assistance at the time, just, trying to put myself through college, raising my two children, trying to do something different, I needed information. I needed financial literacy. And everyone around me, no one around me knew anything about money, like, if I can be honest, right? Like, they didn't know about money. It was just the status quo. And I wanted to do something different. So, a lot of people talk about Dave Ramsey, especially in this generation. Women, I hear women say things, but I just have to give credit. Like, it's not a perfect situation or solution, but it helped me as someone who didn't know anything. So I just always recommend people start here, right? Just so you can have the basics. So what are the baby steps? Okay, let's talk about that for a second. I went to RamseySolutions.com just to make sure I was checking, saying this correctly. But the baby steps are essentially, baby step one is save $1,000 starter emergency fund. So you need $1,000. But there's a baby step zero that most people don't talk about, and that's getting current on all your expenses, all your bills. So like if you're behind on your mortgage or your rent or your electricity or something, you want to get current on all of those things. Make sure everything is paid up until today, right? And then you want to go hard to get that first $1,000 in your emergency fund. Now, what I hear a lot of people talk about is, oh, that ain't enough money. That ain't enough. That ain't what he was saying, though. And I don't know why people are trying to be oblivious to that. It's a starter account for savings. Literally. Let's be for real. Stop playing, y'all. It is for you to have a buffer so that you don't have to use a credit card. We have all been there before. Your tires go out. You don't budget enough for food. Somebody has this emergency, like maybe one of your kids or something, and you need some money, but you don't want to swipe that credit card because you just got current on it, right? You get ready to pay it off in the next step, right? Or something happens. So guess what? Now you have that $1,000 starter emergency fund that you can pull from. It's not supposed to be this savior, right? Like this big cushion. It's supposed to be $1,000 just for you to pull from in case you need it. And guess what? Because it's not that much, you can go ahead and replenish it back up, get back to 1,000. Now we go, baby, the baby step 2, which is to pay off all your debts using the snowball method, which, that's in my lane, all about psychology, right? And y'all seen me do this. Literally, go back and watch my budget videos. Y'all see me do this. When you list your debts from smallest to largest and you pay that smallest debt off and you roll that money into the next debt and you just start making progress, it just feels so good. And that is what helped me, because it let me know that, like, well, hey, you can actually build wealth. You can start bringing that debt category down. Like, yes, you're putting money, and I will talk about this in a minute because I definitely went out of order, and like I said, I don't do mine perfectly. But if you're investing and saving over here just a little bit more than they recommend, then you still need to see that debt column go down. And so for me, the psychological win of knowing that I'm paying off these debts, right? So then number 3, baby step 3 is save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. That's where you fully fund your emergency fund. Just 3 to 6 months. Now, you got to make it work for you. I do definitely think you need to personalize it. Now, that's me bringing in my therapeutic approach, right? Because at the end of the day, I wouldn't do therapy in a way of like, everybody has the same treatment goal. No, everybody's different. So you might, and I'm sure he can, he probably would agree with this at this point in life. Sometimes people need 12 months, okay? You might need 12. Like the little 6 months may not work. You might really need, especially if your anxiety cannot hold just having 6 months. But I do understand why, they say 3 to 6 months. And that's before the economy was super bad. Right now, you might need to focus on 12 months because it might take you that long, and more than likely longer, to find another job in case you lose it. But 3 to 6 months is baby step 3, right, of savings. Baby step 4 is invest 15% of your household income for retirement. So at this point, now, once you get that emergency fund funded, now we can lock into investing. So he didn't tell you not to ever invest. People are like, oh my gosh, like I'm taking all these years you're gonna eventually get there. And I do understand, even though I'm not doing mine, I've already said I'm not doing mine perfectly like he said. I already know, because I'm investing, saving, and paying off debt at the same time. I know, okay? But I will say that if you had all your debt paid off and all that money was actually going to investing, you won't be able to save. You're going to invest a whole lot more, a whole lot faster. So I get it. I get the notion. It makes a lot of sense to me personally. But I also understand how people feel like, but the time, you're all these years. Because if you're trying to pay off a $200,000 student loan, look at all that time. But the flip side of that is, if the longer it takes you to pay this loan off, the time that you don't have time in the market to invest, it's kind of actually setting a little light on, like a little, what do you call it, a fire on, I don't want to say it. You know what I mean? Like, it's, lighting you up a little bit to go ahead and pay that debt off and stop playing around, because you're like, I'm trying to hurry up and invest and build wealth, right? So I get it, okay? So it's kind of like what you need to do for you, right? But at the end of the day, I understand both sides. And baby step 5 is save for your children's college fund. Now, if you don't have kids, guess what? You can skip this. But let's say you have a niece or a nephew or a family member or somebody that you might can do that if you want to. Or you can go ahead and skip straight to baby step 6, which is pay off your home early. What if you haven't bought a home? Well, maybe this is where you purchase your first home, right? So, but guess what? At this point, now you're already investing. You've already paid off all your debts. So you're really kind of free to do whatever you want to do at this point. You already got a emergency fund set up. You good. Low key, you in a good spot at this point, right? And then baby step 7, which is my favorite one I'm excited about, which is build wealth and give. There's a quote that he said years ago, and I'm about to butcher it. I already know it. But he was like, if you live like no one else, one day you can live and give like no one else. Something like that, y'all. I held on to that, and I feel that with so much energy, like, because I truly know that wealth is my birthright. And I want that for you guys. Abundance and wealth is your birthright. But guess what? We got to get this debt paid off. We got to start investing. We got to have our savings accounts, stocked up. And I get it. We can focus on the economy and how things are so bad right now, or you can just really lock in. And I already did my lock-in video for this year, so check that out. My 9-month lock-in. Like, I'm not letting nothing distract me. I don't care. Listen, I'm locking in because I'm trying to get the baby step 7. Period, okay? But I just want to do this video, y'all, because some of you guys don't know about Dave Ramsey, or some of you guys know of him, and you're like, I hate him for whatever reason. And some of you guys are like, I don't know, I've heard of him, but listen, I'll tell you, just straight up, he saved my life, because I would not know anything about this wealth stuff, this money stuff, if it wasn't for Dave Ramsey. There's a lot of new financial influencers, financial people out now, but we got to get this man his accolades and his credit. It's just what it is, okay? And this is coming from a black woman. I'm just going to call it what it is. I wouldn't know nothing about this, okay? So, no, I did not follow the baby step plan exactly. I tried. In order for me, I probably should be paying off my debt, like focusing on that, put all my money toward paying off debt. I know I probably should, but I'm staying in the market. It's just something I choose to do. But I am definitely focused on paying this debt off as fast as possible so that I can, you know what I mean, build that full emergency fund and really lock in on investing and pay off this house, this mortgage. Okay, so I hope you like this video, but I am curious to know, what do you think about the baby steps? Do you think we should just really focus on paying off your debt first, or do you think you should be investing and paying off your debt and saving? What has worked for you? I'm curious to know. Leave me a comment below. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, share. If you want more videos like this where we just chit chat and talk about life and finances and all that stuff, let me know as well. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.